Renee and Julius, the Great Flower Adventure. Once upon a time, in a little village surrounded by rolling hills and colorful gardens, there lived a curious girl named Renee. Renee had big brown eyes, a bright smile, and a heart full of wonder. She loved to explore the meadows behind her house, where wildflowers swayed in the breeze and birds sang sweet melodies. One sunny morning, as Renee skipped through the meadow, she heard a soft buzzing sound. Buzz, buzz. It went. Looking around, Renee spotted a tiny bee darting from one flower to the next. The little bee had black and yellow stripes and was so focused on his task that he didn't even notice Renee. "Hello," Renee said, waving her hand gently. "What are you doing?" The bee paused, fluttering his wings and looking up at her with bright, beady eyes. "Oh, hello. I'm Julius, the busy bee," he said, his voice soft and cheerful. "I'm collecting nectar from these flowers to make honey for my hive." Renee smiled wide. "I love honey, but I've never seen a bee up so close before. Why do you collect nectar?" Julius buzzed around her in excitement. "Nectar is like food for me," he explained. "It gives me energy to fly, and when I bring it back to the hive, we use it to make honey. Every flower has its own nectar, and some are sweeter than others. It's like a treasure hunt. I search for the best and most delicious flowers." Renee's eyes sparkled with curiosity. "That sounds like so much fun. Can I help you find the sweetest flowers?" Julius thought for a moment, then nodded happily. "I'd love some help. But remember, we must be gentle with the flowers. We don't want to harm them. We need the flowers to stay healthy so they can keep giving nectar." Together, they set off on their adventure. Renee skipped along the meadow, and Julius zoomed overhead, guiding her to the best flowers. They visited bright red poppies, purple lilacs, and sunny sunflowers. With each flower, Julius landed carefully, sipping the nectar while Renee admired the beautiful colors. "Look at this one," Renee exclaimed, pointing to a patch of orange marigolds. "It's like the sun in a flower." Julius buzzed down to the marigolds and hovered above them. "These are great, but not as sweet as the daisies," he said. "The daisies have the richest nectar of all." The pair continued their journey, hopping from flower to flower, learning about the different colors, shapes, and smells of each one. As they ventured deeper into the meadow, they found a hidden grove that Renee had never noticed before. "This is incredible," Renee said, her eyes wide with amazement. "I've never seen these flowers before." The flowers were a beautiful shade of blue, their petals shimmering in the sunlight like tiny diamonds. They swayed gently in the breeze, and the air around them was filled with a soft, sweet fragrance. Julius zoomed around the flowers excitedly. "These are rare wildflowers. They're called bluebells, and they have the sweetest nectar I've ever tasted. I only find them in special places, like this hidden grove." Renee bent down to admire the flowers more closely. "They're so magical," she whispered. "I feel like I'm in a fairy tale." Julius nodded in agreement. "They are very special. Not every bee gets to visit a place like this. You have a magical heart, Renee, and that's why the flowers are so friendly to you." Renee smiled shyly. She had always loved nature, and now she felt even more connected to the beautiful world around her. She couldn't wait to tell her family about the secret grove and the special flowers she had discovered. As the day wore on, the sky turned a soft shade of pink, signaling that it was time for Renee to head home. "Thank you for showing me all these wonderful flowers, Julius," she said, giving him a gentle wave. Julius hovered beside her. "You were a great flower finder, Renee. You helped me gather so much nectar today, and I had so much fun. But remember, I'll always be here, buzzing around, making honey. You can visit me anytime you like." Renee nodded. "I'll come back soon. This meadow feels like home to me now." With a final wave, Renee started walking back toward her house. She felt a warm glow in her heart, knowing that she had made a new friend, and had discovered a secret garden full of beautiful hidden treasures. As she walked through the meadow, she could almost hear the soft hum of the flowers and the buzzing of bees, all part of the wonderful world she had come to love even more. And from that day on, whenever Renee wandered through the meadow, she would always stop by the secret grove of bluebells and think of her little friend Julius, the busy bee. Together, they had shared an adventure that made the world a little more magical. The end.